And I thought, you know, kind of crunchy, kind of sweet. We're going to use the Splenda, and it calls for the Splenda granulated. You know, Splenda comes in different varieties. They come in, this is like what I would call the plain Splenda. That also comes in the half, and this is like for baking and sweetening and things like that. Then they have the half sugar one, which you would use, we did that at Christmas time, we used it to make peanut brittle. So you'd use it to make candy. It's half sugar, half Splenda. So, and I guess it's just the way that you have to, you know, for candy making, they want you to have a little bit more sugar because of the process. In this one, we're just going to use the regular Splenda, the granulated. Okay, it also comes in brown sugar and whatever. Okay, I already popped the popcorn, and this is about 2.5 bags of popcorn. Yeah, is about 13 cups, and I did measure that out. So that's our 13 cups of popcorn. We also have just a half a cup of the salted nuts, so that's not a whole lot. We're going to make the sauce, or not sauce, but the coating for the popcorn, and that's going to be, we need a bowl. That's going to be 3/4 of a cup of the Splenda. I've got the oven on, so we're going to put, let's do this. I did that backwards earlier. We need an egg white. So 1 egg white. Let's see, oops, oop, oop, oop. All right, and if you had something to do with the yolk, fine. If not, just too hard to save some of the stuff. Okay, so we've got 1 egg yolk, which we're just going to whisk up a little bit. And we've got 3/4 of a cup of the Splenda. We've got a half a teaspoon of salt. And the popcorn that I did use is just the Food Club natural popcorn. I didn't use the butter. I didn't use any extra anything. Okay. All right, that's good. We'll put the Splenda in here. We'll put the salt in here. We've got some honey, 2 tablespoons of honey, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Look at the teaspoon measure. I think actually we'll just use it in the cap. All right, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. All right. It doesn't look like it's going to work in the beginning. Yay, it works. Okay, and that's what goes on the popcorn. Get rid of that. Now I got a big bowl. A big bowl. I went downstairs and I thought, okay, that looks good. All right, we'll put the popcorn in there. And we're going to put the nuts in here. I think because they'll coat just a little bit better if we do it this way. All right, then we're going to pour the whole thing on here. And you want to make sure that you get this mixture on all the popcorn. So this is so far so good on the healthy part. We're not talking about a lot of sugar, we're talking no sugar, sweetened by the Splenda and the honey. And how many this says 13 cups of popcorn. that the recipe makes. Serving size would be pretty good because you're not even talking about a whole lot of the salted nuts. All right, that looks pretty good. Now we will put them on a pan. Now when I made this earlier, I put some parchment paper on the pan because I thought, oh good, that's really going to just slide off. Well, it did, except that when I went to stir it, it was too hard to stir with the parchment on there. So we're just going to try it this way. And just put it in the pan. And this came out looking just like caramel corn. All the nuts in here. And get the bowl downstairs before they miss it. Downstairs in the kitchen. Actually, when I do stuff like this at home, or you make the Chex mix or whatever, I think I'm not sure if they still do because mine is several years old, but Tupperware has that great big bowl. I don't know what it's called, but it's about that big and about that deep, and that does stuff like this. All right, we're going to pop this in the oven. It's what? Oh, okay. Could be.
Not that big.
Right. Well, you know, that was a little bit too big, but you know, you want to have a big one just to do stuff like this, or Chex mix or whatever. Okay, I'm going to pop that in the oven. Okay, and look at our popcorn, looks good. It's a lot of fun to do drying like that because it does make really good snacks. I've done, you know, now this time of year, cherries are in, and they're getting, you know, I believe we have cherries on sale this week, the Bing cherries, for $2.99 a pound, which is a really good price. When they get cheap like that, I like to buy a bunch and then pit them, which is a pain in the neck. Unless you have like an electric little cherry pitter. Looks good. Okay, we're just going to put this back for a few more minutes, 4 minutes, I guess. Oh, it's just about ready. Okay. All right, here's our popcorn. Beautiful. There's our, yeah. Looks a little bit like caramel corn. Kind of a sweet little crunchy snack. All right, we'll let that cool before we put it in the